What's up guys, Chris here from Signs of Life. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, which I'm calling Drift Mode Activated, we are gonna take an existing track here in Ableton Live and take it to the next level. Along the way, I will be sharing some secrets and insights into the ambient music process. I feel like as a beginner, it's really valuable to watch someone like me work. And hopefully by watching this video, you guys are gonna gain a little bit of knowledge and have some more insight into the process. And yeah, thanks for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. So you can see in our track today, we're starting off here with a patch from Ancient Technology 4. This is called Entering the Atmosphere. Beautiful pad here, providing some motion, right? Really great stuff. Just a simple pad, but just enough there to kind of give us the hint, like there's something underneath the track. And then we have an instance of Stepic here. Now this is a patch that I put on my Patreon, my first ever Stepic 1.6 pack. It was this pack of generative patches. I'll go ahead and solo this track so you guys can hear this. And you can see it's very minimal, right? It's got some ties here, some random notes here. But it's designed just to kind of give it that sense of space. Minimalism in ambient music is so important. And that's just driving another patch here from Ancient Technology 4 called Behind the Veil. But you can hear the notes are very minimal, right? I'm not trying to push the space too much, just enough, yeah? Now, what's interesting about this patch, we're gonna come back to this in just a second. I'm calling it Gen, or generative, right? I'll get out of the way so you guys can see this. I've got an LFO here, and this LFO is driving some various parameters on the spectral resonator. And I've created an audio effect rack, right? One chain has the spectral resonator on it, and that's actually taking MIDI from that generative track, what I was talking about before. So you can see the MIDI is coming from Gen, and then this LFO is actually modulating the shift here on the spectral resonator. And then I've got another chain here that's just doing the dry signal. So if we solo this track, you can hear, we're hearing some crazy MIDI coming from that generative track, going through the spectral resonator, and then the dry signal was just a preset here that I created in Serum. Very simple. So that's cool, right? Lots of cool stuff. And then a simple bass here from Ancient Technology 4 called Basilica, right? One of my favorite patches from the sound bank. And that's it, that's where we're starting. But I've got a whole chart planned here for you, and you know, lots of great stuff. But I really feel like it really is more than the sum of its parts. It's the feeling you get from this style of music, right? And it's not only that, it's not only the technical stuff that we're doing, it's the conviction that you have in the process. So hopefully even by watching videos like this, you'll be able to gain some insight and some conviction and have the confidence to do what it is that you want to do. Anyway, that's the game plan. Thanks for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. This video is brought to you by the Signs of Life Patreon. Discover tutorials for all skill levels, as well as full track walkthroughs and track breakdowns, over 100 preset and sample packs, and the Signs Circle Group for track feedback and support. And I also offer personalized one-on-one ambient coaching. Well, what are you waiting for? Sign up today and join us. The link is down below in the description. So check this out, Drift Mode Activated, creating spacious ambient soundscapes. And the first point that I have to make is about the effects chains. Blend effects while retaining the original signal, all right? So this is what I was doing, showing you with that spectral resonator and that effects chain, was I took the effects chain, I split the signal, and then I created a parallel processing chain that really kind of exemplified what I was doing here. Let me show you again what's happening here in that effects chain. As you can hear, I'm gonna solo this track. You get this effect, like you have the sequence, but then there's also that really beautiful granular quantize, and this is also in scale mode here. Now, if you don't have a spectral resonator, obviously you could use something like, you know, fragments from Arturia or motion fractal from excite audio. I mean, there's different ones out there, right? That are both granular and sort of delay. So that's cool. Love that. But all you do to create another chain is just right click and say create chain. But the thing is, when you create a blank chain and don't drop anything there, that's what keeps your dry signal, all right? So that's a big deal because you can hear the high end is coming from that beautiful sprinkling we have here. I'm gonna put the span up on the screen so you guys can see this. That's just gorgeous, right? Beautiful high end here, got a nice bass holding it down. Healthy dip here at around 100 to 200. So it's not too crowded, right? I love that. Now, the second thing I might want to do, let's go ahead and rename this. This is our generative sequence. This is our bass. I might want to put a secondary sequence in here, okay? We already have our generative. We already have sequence 1, but the second point on the chart, as you can see, is sequencing variations, contrasting rhythms and octaves, right? So we might want an 8th note sequence and a 16th note sequence, right? And then a quarter note. The quarter note can be our generative variation there. That would be our quarter note. And we've kind of got our 16th note in here, right? But what about the 8th note, okay? What about what's left? Let's go ahead and do that. I love this. I mean, this sounds so good. It sounds really good. As you can see, this is all 16th notes. So let's go ahead and start this. We can either create a patch from scratch or just use one from Ancient Technology 4. To simplify things, maybe I'll just use Ancient Technology 4 here. And what I'm going to do is grab a preset from Ancient Technology 4. By the way, the link is down below in the description for the sound set. It just came out on Material. We'll use, say, how about Rapture? That's a good one. And I'll come over to the effects and I'll take off the delay because I'm going to use my own delay and my own reverb here. That's cool. And maybe I'll adjust the macros here. The macros are all pre-set up for you. But if you don't want to, you want to start kind of fresh, you can kind of lower them if you want. And let's use Stepic here, all right? Before we get to Serum, all right? So we'll grab Stepic. And what I'll do is I'll do a simple 8th note sequence. Again, we're playing in A minor, so I'll grab, say, A3, okay? And we'll go 8th notes here. And I'll play with the play order. So I'll use drift pendulum here, which is kind of interesting. And then with the octaves, I'll play with some +1 octaves and maybe like one of them is +2. That'll be our spice note, yeah? And we'll put it into pentatonic minor. Cool. We'll also vary the velocity because I know that that's a velocity sensitive patch, put it in shuffle order. So it's all randomizing our velocity. This looks good. We'll also put this one in shuffle order so we get some octave variation. Okay, great. So now let's add some notes here. And what I can do is I can use some of these in dice mode, and then on, you know, some of these steps I can turn them off and maybe even tie some of these steps together. Kind of like how we saw in the generative one. That's cool. We'll add one G note here. Looking good. Yeah, one C note right there. The rest are A's. Perfect. And finally, the last step will be changing the clock division to on note trigger. So this is the lane clock here, Stepic. So we're good to go now. And we've already set up our patch here. I'll turn on some delay, turn on some reverb. Let's hear how this sounds. I'm going to solo it. Oh yeah. So like I said, this is at a different speed than the 16th note sequence, which is going to separate what's actually happening, you know, on a sort of like mental, psychological level. Because when you hear these two things together, listen to this. The other one's kind of down below that, and it's being played faster. I love it. Let's go look at it again. It's at the A2, we went to A3 for the other one. So we separated them out by octave range and by both timbre and speed. Oh yeah. I like it, I like it, I like it. That's good. You see, like, it just takes a little bit of balance here. That's really what it's all about, right? Let's go back to the chart. Drift mode activated. So the variations, we have the 8th note sequence now in there. We have our 16th note sequence holding it down at just 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the higher notes are the 8th notes, which is exactly what I did. And then below that, we have that beautiful generative drifting sequence, all right? This is great, because now the spectrum sounds really wide. I love this. Fantastic. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna light up the pads. But before we get there, let's go back here. Take a look at reality fade. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Got a little blip there. I went really hard on the macros as usual on Ancient Technology 4. Oh, that's gorgeous. We might even modulate that macro. Let's do a sample and hold mono. Put it in free running mode. Smooth it out. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. Oh yeah. Nice. Love it. So that blip kind of fades in and out. Fantastic. All right, now let's listen to our pad here. Now this to me is kind of a low pad, right? It's very drony. But like I showed you in the chart, we're gonna need something on the high end. Airy, bright textures up there, right? This is our mid pad, ethereal and evolving, okay? We haven't done our low pad yet, but we're gonna get there, all right? So now, let's do a separate pad. Let's rename this sequence 02. Very nice, very nice. And let's move on to our high airy pad. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the high airy evolving pad to really take care of our high end in this track. So let's go ahead and pause right here. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a high airy pad in Serum 2 from scratch, all right? So what I like to do, now I've showed this process in Vital in other videos on my channel, is I'm gonna open up the wavetable editor here. Now, if you've never done this before, this might be a new thing for you. So let's go ahead and set ourselves up here. Let's first adjust our attack here to around 3.5 seconds. Same with the decay, lower the sustain now and up the release. So what we're dealing with here is just a simple sawtooth. Now what we can do is open up the wavetable editor by clicking on this pencil right here, right next to the, now this is just the basic default, Serum basic shapes, right? What we can do though, is we can delete all of these frames here. And with the first one, we can kind of play a chord and then we can adjust these harmonics here until you find something that you like, right? I think that sounds pretty good, okay? You can also randomize the bins here or the phase, okay? I like that, that's cool. If you want to add some upper harmonics, add some of these up here. That's good. Now you can click on the little plus down here and make a new frame here. We'll go ahead and adjust this as well. So you can hear I'm doing this in real time, right? And I'm trying to get some variation in all of these different frames. Because I'm literally playing with harmonics here, okay? We'll do one more and this one will be kind of way up there on the spectrum. That's cool, right? A little sharpness there. There we go, for some high airiness. Maybe we'll do the same thing over here. very nice, very nice. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is select all of these frames and come over to the morph menu and say morph crossfade. And now I have 256 frames. As you can hear, I can scroll through this, right? So now I've created my own wavetable from scratch. Okay, that's cool. We can add some unison to this. Maybe we'll lower down the detune, open up the unison menu, lower down the width. We'll put on like super mode, and that looks good. That's cool. We'll close this menu. And now you can hear, if we put a filter on this, it's gonna sound really wide and spacious. I like that. Open up the harmonics a little bit, the filter. Oh yeah. So we can have like an LFO scanning through this whole thing. Let's go ahead and put it on mono mode. Let's go ahead and put it in Hertz mode. We'll drag this over. It's coming in as sort of stepped random. Let's smooth that random out. And we'll Shift Alt and click this and make it bipolar. And now you can hear, if we play up on the upper part of the spectrum and press play, you can hear that beautiful pad up there. Oh yeah. Very nice. So it's kind of modulating there on the top end, right? If you want to, you could even put a second filter here and put this as a high pass. So I could put this as a high pass. And what I can do on filter 2, let's go ahead and put on normal high 18, is I can come over to the mix here and I can change the filter pass. So right now they're both going to main, you can see that. So right now I can put this going to filter 2, and now we have our filters running in serial, okay? So filter 1 is going through filter 2. That's good, because we have a low pass and a high pass. We'll use that same LFO on the low pass filter here. We'll also put some delay on this and some reverb. Press play. Oh yeah. So you can really hear that pad now up on the upper end that we created. And again, this was all creating this from scratch. Really good stuff. Let's go ahead and create a MIDI clip here. Really nice. Oh yeah. Turn off the fixed grid. Lay in some notes here. There we go. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So this is gonna be our high pad. And I mean, that's not even close to being done, but it's a good start, right? We can add a noise here. Maybe we'll add one of these noises. Screws in a bowl, that's always a good one. We'll use the LFO on the pitch here. Slow this LFO down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it, I love it. So really simple sound design, like it's not that complicated. But with just a noise, custom wavetable here, some unison. You can even modulate some of that detune on the unison. Oh yeah. I love that, listen to that. That crunchiness of the high end, oh I love it. Fantastic. So going back to the chart, you can see now, we've covered the mid pad and we've covered the high pad. And that to me is exactly what we want at this stage, because we're still in the track creation phase, right? We're not quite there yet, but like we're getting there. And if you look at our span, you can see like that beautiful high end coming in right there. It's nice and crackly and glittery. I love it. It's fantastic. And it's that kind of thing, that's what really defines the atmosphere. You're not overdoing it, but at the same time, you're opening up the opportunity that the listener has space to breathe. That's so important. And they understand the detail. They can feel the detail coming from you. That's just fantastic. I love it. Okay, so going back to the chart, the final point that I have to make is you want to define the atmosphere. using reverb and space, right? Long reverb tails, drones, swells, spatial effects, field recordings. You want to get that sense that like anything is possible, because it's not just the technical stuff, but it's igniting the imagination. That's what it's really all about, especially in ambient. You want to let these sounds breathe, right? So let's put one more patch in here. One more patch. And it's going to be a soundscape, and that's going to cover our low pad. Okay? So I'll grab Serum 2. I've already created soundscapes for this exact purpose. Let's open up Ancient Technology 4. Let's use Origin Story. Look at this. It's got this rip tear sample. I'm using granular over here. It's got this saw drift from the factory library. This is a drone coming from my Through Zero FM oscillator from Infinite Machinery that I recorded, and I put it into Serum 2. Of course, the keys and ball over here, right? Let's do a nice low A note here. Put it through the synth bus, solo this. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it. Fantastic. Oh yeah. All right, let's grab a reverb here. Now, one thing I love to do, I know it's like kind of faux pas, if you will, to put a reverb on top of a reverb, but this is ambient. There are really no rules. You can stack reverbs if you want, all right? So I'm gonna grab a preset from Space and Time 2, and let's use Farewell to Olancha. Oh yes. Oh, that's gorgeous. Lower down the mix here. Oh, listen to those tails. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this. I mean, this is a really bright reverb. 29 seconds of decay. Echo going into the reverb at quarter notes. Oh, that's beautiful. And look at our spin now. I mean, just look at where we are. I'm holding down 2 notes right here, defining the atmosphere. Oh. And like I said, providing all that clarity that you need, all the detail that you need. That's what it's really all about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know I did, because it's videos like this where you watch someone like me work and you start to understand why I do what I do. You start to understand the ins and the outs of this styles of music, because it's so important for you to not only have the technical knowledge, but develop the confidence that you have inside to do this kind of stuff for real. So if you want help with that, and you really want to develop yourself as an artist this year in 2026, check me out. The link to my mentorship program is down below. This is a 6-week intensive course where I walk you through the whole thing, whether it's sound design, composition, artist development, all the way to getting yourself signed by a record label. I'm there for you, and that's what the mentorship program entails. I give you mixed, detailed notes every single time for each session. It's really an involved process. So if you want to take your skills and your talent and your whole music identity to the next level, check it out, the mentorship program. Link is down below in the description. I'll leave the link to Ancient Technology 4 down there as well. That's my Patreon. Fantastic. I love tutorials like this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate all of your support and your presence here on this platform. And I'll be back again soon with more videos exactly like this one. So in the meantime, please take good care, and as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. I am Chris from Science of Life, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.